Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about climate. This video is about very fake sea level rise forecasts. Heidi Cullen's Climate Central predicts 12 feet of sea level rise by the year 2100, and they say it is your fault. Their forecast is based on collapse of the West Antarctic ice sheet. It reflects recent research that some parts of the Antarctic ice sheet may begin to collapse much sooner than scientists had previously anticipated, particularly if ongoing emissions of heat-trapping gases like carbon dioxide and methane remain high. Climate Central forecasts that Boston will be underwater after sea level rises 44 millimeters per year until the end of the century. Fortunately, we don't have to guess what sea level at Boston is doing. NOAA has a tide gauge at Boston which shows a steady sea level rise of 2.8 millimeters per year over the past century. Sea level was rising at the same rate 100 years ago, and much of that is due to land subsiding rather than sea level rising. There is zero indication of human impact. The red line here shows what Climate Central is claiming versus the actual measurements. This is a classic snake oil sales tactic. They create an imaginary problem and then try to sell an imaginary solution to it. In a blatant attempt to influence policy, Climate Central also claims Florida is going to be underwater by the year 2100. But NOAA shows sea level at Florida rising even slower than Boston. And once again, much of this is due to land sinking rather than sea level rising. Sea level in Florida is rising at the same rate as 100 years ago. There is no indication of human influence. The red line shows the rate of rise which Climate Central is claiming, and the blue line shows the actual measurements. The Climate Central claim is that the West Antarctic ice sheet is going to collapse, a claim which was also made 40 years ago during the global cooling scare. We're doing about the most we can right now to study the possible collapse of the West ice sheet, said Dr. Richard Cameron, National Science Foundation Program Manager for Glaciology. We're seeing the West ice sheet on its way out, said Cameron. It has nothing to do with a warmer climate, just the dynamics of unstable ice. A year later, the New York Times reported no end in sight to the 30-year cooling trend. NASA actually says that Antarctica is gaining ice, which causes sea level to fall, not rise. Sea level has risen 400 feet during the last 20,000 years. Most of that time it was rising much faster than now. There is zero indication that humans have any impact on sea level rise. Climate Central's claims are intentionally deceptive. I've called them out for their climate fraud dozens of times, but they receive lots of funding to make junk science forecasts about the future. Their scams are based on the understanding that it is impossible to prove something won't happen in the future. For example, Earth could also be invaded by giant rabbits from Neptune by the year 2100. Nobody can prove it won't happen. Visit Toto on the web at realclimatescience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science for a long time.